We are the Middle-Aged Mamas. We are back with another episode of Middle-Aged Mamas. Dawn is still jet-setting all over the world, but we have a millennial here, guys. Live and in person, my Danica.
In the flesh.
A millennial to break down all the differences between Gen Z and the... Well, no, we're Gen X. We're Gen X. We're Gen X and the millennials and the differences. Because let me tell you, at every job, you need a millennial at your job. Because
to put you up on game?
Yeah. With fashion, with technology. Danica and I worked together for
Give us more game.
An entire year. And I tell you, I learned so many things from her. Just about fashion, what's in, what's out. We really enjoyed the differences in our cultures and just the differences in our age gap. Although most of the time I felt like I was her age. And I
think we kind of all do. Like, we don't feel like what is this? 40 is the new... We're not 40. We're older than that. Is the new
30.
Well, 30, let me tell you.
Whatever y'all are is the new 30.
The year that I graduated from high school, 1994, is the year Danica was born.
Could you believe? Girl. We used to always say that she's my teenage mom. Like, we go out, like, if we're at work together and we're like, let's go get lunch. And then she's, like, paying for my lunch. She's like, I have to. I'm your mom. Sweet. I'm like, thanks.
I never let her pay because I felt weird.
I had a friend like that once before.
Yeah.
We're no longer friends.
Oh, shoot. Well, don't stop being my friend, please.
Yeah, so Danica is here because she's a great conversation, and I just missed you so much. So
I miss you, and I love to talk. I love the sound of my own voice. I love to say anything I want.
You should be on camera, like, full time.
Yeah, we're heading that direction.
I'm on my way.
Before we get to
Too bad
Danica,
I'm a teacher.
Not too bad. That's the start. That's the beginning. That's the beginning.
Before we get to Danica, let's open the show with some pet peeves. Because as middle-aged moms, Danica, there's just constant stuff that gets on our nerves.
Can we cuss?
Of course.
Okay, as an asshole, I have so many pet peeves.
Right.
2 is your limit.
Oh,
for today's show.
Shoot. Okay, let me think.
So I'm curious to hear a millennial pet peeve versus our pet peeves. Because ours sound like old bitchy Karens.
Mine's is not.
I think
like
mine's going to be old bitchy Karen too, but you guys go first. Let me follow up.
What do you have?
My pet peeve is when people park on their grass. Even if it's their grass. Why are you parking your car on the grass?
In the lawn or like in between sidewalk?
Like,
it's white trash.
Pull their car up. It don't have to be just white people. All kinds of people do it.
Really?
I don't see that.
People,
I always see it like the two pickup trucks in the yard, you know, and you're like, Jesus
that is
Christ.
A pet peeve of mine. I'm like, why don't y'all park either on the street or in the driveway? Parking on the grass annoys me.
I don't really see that.
I see it everywhere.
I don't see it at all.
Girl.
And I'm trying to think the last time I saw it. Maybe like more country roads type of thing.
I see it in the city all the time at my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. That's funny.
Some of my neighbors down the street, I live in a decent neighborhood.
Yeah.
Parking on the grass.
Don't they know it ruins the grass? Or they don't care?
I don't know if they care.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know if they care. I mean, and it just diminishes your house. Like when you pull up on the grass and you just cat-a-corner on in front of your house. I guess it's just a jump out and go into the house thing. I don't know. That irks me.
And they're never doing it uniform.
No,
they're not.
It's always,
they're not pulling up and making parking spots.
It's just random.
Totally.
Yeah, it's
totally.
So
I see that all the time.
Yes. Or maybe it's more for parties.
No, it'll be one car in the grass. No one's in the driveway.
That's their house.
That's so funny. Okay, Danica, what do you have?
I was going to say stupidity, but I feel like that's such like a vague...
Well, that's broad.
It is, broad. But
What's stupid? Name something that's stupid that gets on your nerves.
When people argue a point that they don't know if it's right or wrong, and they're so steadfast on their bullshit that they think you'll believe them because they're confidently talking about their bullshit. Mm-hmm. And like, meanwhile, I know that they're wrong. And it's like a narcissist God complex that I have that I'm like, well, I'm smarter than 95% of people that exist in the world.
We're about to have a for real philosophical conversation about these pet peeves today.
I feel like in a room, I'm in the top 5% of intelligence, any room that I'm in. So when somebody's trying to tell me something and I know that they're wrong and they want to argue it, and like you said, like I'm going to pull out my phone, I'm going to Google it. And if I'm right, I'm going to let you know. And when somebody
Danica will fight to be right.
I have to be right because I always am. And so,
But sometimes you be wrong. Wait, what was?
I'm never wrong. I'm just lying.
No, what was that thing last year? It was something where you think things come down the line and it gets translated to each generation, but it never really happened. Remember, you were trying to explain that to me, and you were so
it's
sure.
It's a word.
No, was I trying to the Mandela effect?
Yeah, the Mandela effect. And you were so sure of one of them, and you were completely wrong.
Was it the Berenstain Bears?
No, it wasn't the Berenstain Bears.
The Mandela effect is like an overarching phenomenon that happens in society where it's like, so all of us remember the Berenstain Bears being BERSTIN. But if you look at anything nowadays, it's BERSTAIN, Berenstain.
No.
But like, that's what I'm telling you. But we all have this memory of Berenstain,
or something like that. Yeah.
But it's Berenstain. But then there's the one.
Wait. Berenstain is correct?
Yes. I hope that I'm right because
no, you're wrong.
No,
I swear
you have it wrong.
Not.
You have it wrong.
No, I don't.
Because I have books.
It's not the A.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the pronunciation of it. That's the part.
That's what it is. It's a pronunciation, but there is no
the
A.
The spelling is the same.
No, look.
A-I-N.
Let's see.
See, this is that shit. I'm telling you, I'm 5%. Me, smartest in the room.
Wait, what's that down there? I can't see.
You need to put your glasses.
Look right here at the top.
But what's that down there on that book?
It says fucking AIN. But I swear to God, it's EIN. It's stain. It's Berenstain. Yeah. And this says Berenstain.
Right. So that's one of the things that over time things
But we all have this collective memory of something that is wrong. And so that's called the Mandela effect because
but
there's a
the
group
one that
of
you were
people.
wrong about. The one that you were wrong about was Luke, I am your father. She was going back and forth with me.
I thought it was Luke, I am your father.
Saying that's not what he said.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. He says,
Luke, I am your father.
No, he does not. He does not.
And I
just
William,
watched it.
No, I asked William, my husband, who is an avid.
He says,
no, Star Wars?
I am your father.
No, he doesn't.
Swear to God.
It's Luke, I am your father.
Luke.
It's Luke.
We got to look it up.
Where's my phone? Call my husband. That is not right.
What?
It's not
insert
right.
the clip.
That's not right.
Look.
So that's the one that we debated about, and she was wrong.
Useless to resist.
This is the difference, you guys, between millennials and Gen X. Why did she pull this clip up that fast?
Millennial.
Everybody needs a millennial.
Fighting.
I love that movie.
What's it called?
I just saw it for the first time.
30 hours.
I know. Me and my ex watched all of them.
I am your father.
And everybody was so shocked when he revealed
I'm
that.
not.
You are.
I'm not.
Listeners, tune in and let us know if they're saying,
this.
Luke, I am your father. Because she's absolutely wrong. This is the one I told you last year.
I swear to God.
You're wrong.
Swear to God.
Call William.
Call him. Right there, bitch.
He said Luke.
No, he said no.
He said Luke.
Listen.
This is millennials.
Now I'm trying to listen.
Hold on. This is so...
Call your brother. So we can hear
Listen.
What happened to your father? He told me enough. He told me you killed. No. I am your father.
Does sound like
He said no. I am your father.
Wait a minute. But
sound like
last
he
year
said
when I
no.
said he says Luke, I am your father. Call William.
Call him. He's gonna be wrong. I just played it for you.
It does sound like he said no, but that makes sense though because he asked him a question.
He said no. Obi-Wan said blah blah blah,
and
he said
he said no. He told me enough. No, I am your friend. So that makes sense.
So all these years, the Mandela effect made it Luke, I am your father.
100%.
Ask William real fast.
The same thing. So the reason that it's
really about to
call him.
but we just played it.
I know, but I just want to hear what he says.
But the reason it's called the Mandela effect is because a huge majority of people in the United States especially have this remembrance of Nelson Mandela dying in prison when he was in South Africa and being held in prison. People have this, people have
That's why they call
this
it the
huge
Mandela
remembrance of him dying in prison, but then years later,
phenomenon is based on him.
so that's where the name comes from, is that people remember, and I want to say it was in the 90s that people remember him dying in prison in South Africa, but then years later he was released.
He was released.
Exactly. But when he got released, all of these people said, wait, we thought he died, blah, blah, blah. And that was like the
Mandela effect.
The beginning of the Mandela effect. And now there's all these things like in Snow White, when she looks in the mirror and she says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? She doesn't say that. She says, magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? But we all, our whole lives, remember it as mirror, mirror on the wall. But she doesn't say that.
I feel like in the book, though,
maybe that's where it comes, like maybe from like the Brothers Grimm, like the first rendition of all of those stories.
So it could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
But even like the original animated Snow White, which is from, I'm pretty sure the 80s or 90s.
No.
Earlier 60s, 40s.
Like probably.
Did you say Snow White was from the 80s or 90s?
Not Snow White.
What did you just say?
Is it Snow White? Is Mirror, Mirror on the Wall?
Yeah,
it's like 39 actually. Yeah, I really think it is
from
like the 30s.
Yeah, 30s and 40s.
I thought you said 80s or 90s.
I did at first, but then I immediately
it's from
took
like
it back.
that long ago. Yeah,
it
absolutely.
is. And in that one, she says magic mirror on the wall, not mirror, 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 mirror.
Now I'm gonna have to look that up too.
It's crazy.
Mandela effect. I never heard of
Look it up. There's so many online that people will pull up. And some of them you're like, no, I don't remember it that way.
Right.
But a lot of them are crazy. Like the Luke, I am your father, and the mirror, mirror on the wall always get me. And the Berenstain Bears. Because it's Berenstain.
It's kind of like the same thing, like where you hear something over and over again, like playing the telephone game.
Exactly.
And somebody says something in your ear, and then it just gets different or changes.
But Luke, I am your father is like a cultural thing.
A phenomenon. It's so prolific.
Because I feel like people have even said that, like repeated it verbatim. Luke, I am your father on TV.
For years.
Forever.
But it's not. It's no, I am your father.
But now that she played that and I heard the question, it makes sense that he says no.
Yeah, the response to Luke's question makes sense for him to say no. I'm your father, because he said, didn't Obi-Wan tell you what happened to your father? And Luke says, yeah, you killed him.
He told me enough.
Vader says, no, I am your father.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Crazy.
Yeah, let us know what you think, listeners. Do you think he says, no, I'm your father?
Crack
or
the
Luke,
code.
I am your
Not
father?
what you think. Look at the clip and tell me what you saw.
Oh, another funny thing, let me tell you, that Gen X does not do. When you said you were on your way and you sent me your location to follow your route, I was like, oh, look at that.
I wanted you to see I was really on my way.
I can actually see where she is. I've never done that
because
before.
I don't want anybody to ever think I'm lying.
Who cares?
I don't know. I have guilt. Last week, I was sick from work, and I called out, and I was at Kaiser at urgent care because I was sick, and our coworker April ended up being at Kaiser at the same time, and I saw her, and I go, I'm so glad you're here because now nobody will think I'm lying about being sick. I have such a worry that people think I'm trying to bullshit them.
Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know, trauma. I just don't want anybody to ever think I'm lying. Mm-hmm. And I don't want people to think I'm trying to pull a fast one on them. Because I feel like I'm very genuine. Mm-hmm. And so I send you my thing because I told you 5:30 and then it wasn't 5:30. I told you 6, it wasn't 6. So I'm like, I will be there at 6:15. Watch me drive to you. I'm not lying.
That's so interesting.
I was super late.
And then so our generation, we just call and say, hey, I'm running late. And it's okay. It's not a big deal.
But I feel like I need an excuse for being late. I need a good reason to run late, because why am I not prioritizing something I already put my eggs into this basket?
That's a weird type of validation, though, that you probably need to work out in therapy.
I'm in therapy. I've been in therapy for years.
I'm in therapy.
But it's okay. It's a type of validation that you probably need to work out. Because you don't need to be validated like that. You're telling the truth. Just you telling the truth.
Especially if you come into my house, you know I love you. I don't even care.
And when have you ever been on time to anything?
I know. Last year.
No, even when we had dinner. We had dinner, what was that? A month ago? You were like 45 minutes late.
That's because I was getting my hair done. Coming from her house. Running late.
But I always worry that people think I'm trying to bullshit them. And I think it's because I am a bullshitter. Like, I love to fudge the truth to make myself sound better. So then when I really am telling the truth, I feel like I have to double down on proof to make sure that people know I'm in this moment I am telling the truth.
So that's probably where that comes from. You're just proving to yourself, I guess.
Yeah. It makes me feel better.
Fascinating.
It's a type of validation, but
I do think it's a therapy thing. I'll tell her about it.
I'll let her know.
She's on strike right now. I haven't been to therapy in 3 weeks.
Wait, why is she on strike?
Because there's a union problem, so she's been on strike for 3 weeks. So I've been untherapized and whiling.
Okay, so do you find that most of your generation is seeking therapy or is in therapy? Because when we were growing up, that was not a thing. It was like you talk to your mom. But it's also
a cultural thing too. But you're right. Your age. What are you? What's
30.
your generation?
Millennial.
She's a millennial. Just made it.
Yeah.
I'm
like 2 years in. I'm in there.
Seek therapy.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. I think majority of my friends are in therapy. A lot of people I know are in therapy. I don't know if it's because the stigma has been broken down so much over the years.
I think that's part of it. Also,
I feel like we've been living through so many like huge worldwide cultural
big things.
impactful moments in the world. Yeah. I think I don't know why, but I do feel like, and I think Gen Z even more so, the generation under me, I think they're all in therapy. Sure. And none of them are afraid to talk about any of, like, these kids are going on TikTok and crying and talking about all the things that have happened to them in their life, like things you couldn't waterboard out of me.
Right.
And I feel like as the generations go, people get more open and more honest and more like vulnerable and willing to talk about things, where it's like, I was raised by a dad who was like, don't talk about it, don't cry, go in your room if you have emotions, like be fucking quiet about how you feel.
Now, was he an older dad?
Yeah, my dad is older. So
he's not Gen X.
He's a boomer. Yeah.
So that's what we talk about.
Boomers are
our
like
parents
that.
are boomers. They were considered the silent generation.
Yeah.
Where it was don't talk about your feelings. So that's interesting that you were raised like that, although you're a millennial.
Yeah. Yeah, because I have older parents.
Now, were you latchkey too?
Yes. Well, I was raised single parent. So my parents divorced when I was in first grade. I was about 6. And my dad just like pieced it out. He was dealing with his own things here and there. Mom raised so it was just me, my sister, and my mom. Until I was about 6th grade, 7th grade. And then I got my stepdad. And my stepdad's like the world's best person. He's like, he was all in. He had never had kids before. And so my mom was his first wife. And he came in and like, he could have just been my mom's husband.
Did they have children?
No. Just me and my sister. And he came in and he really could have just been my mom's husband and like that there and there. But he was like, I'm about to be your dad. And he's the reason I am everything I am today. If I never got my stepdad, I bet you I'd be a stripper in my hometown on meth with no teeth. Like, I don't think I would have made it out. Reno, I grew up in Northern California. I grew up in Truckee, not Reno. Don't put that evil on me. But I would have ended up in Reno.
I bet you're Reno. Oh, that's where you went to go to the movies.
That's like the closest city. So, like, if you wanted to go to the mall, the movies, the grocery store, you would drive into Nevada to go to Reno. So I grew up in Truckee, California, which is a little tiny town on the outskirts of Lake Tahoe. When I was little, it was like the population was around 8,000 to 10,000. Now it's a little bit higher, maybe 15, 20. But like I graduated high school with 35 kids. Wow. Like it's small town. And so if I wouldn't have had my stepdad come in and like do all of that, I would have been in a very different path going forward.
Did your stepdad move you guys down here?
No, he kept us there. So he worked in Santa Barbara and he lived 2 weeks in Tahoe, 2 weeks in Santa Barbara. He kept us there. I finished all of school there and he bought a house for us we all lived in. He bought me my first car. He paid for me to go to college. Like he was just my dad. Like thinking back when I think of my dad, it's just him.
That's awesome.
Like sometimes people are made for that to come into a space and fill that void.
Yes, and he's like the world's best dad. He was made for it. And like my real dad, I still have a very strong relationship with. He holds a different role in my life. Yeah. He's cool, but he's a cool friend. He's not a cool dad.
Okay, so when you get married, if you do like the traditional route, who would walk you down the aisle?
I don't know. I think about that all the time because my sister just got married in 2021, and she has a much more tumultuous tumultuous relationship with my father. And
she's your older sister?
Yeah, and she let him walk her down the aisle.
Oh, wait. She has a tumultuous relationship with the stepfather.
No, with my real dad.
Oh, and she let
the oldest.
Yeah, she's older. And so when the divorce was happening and all that shit, she's the one watching it. I was just like, la-di-da-di-da. I didn't care.
How much older is she?
2 years.
Okay.
But she really stepped into that role of taking care of me. She got me to the bus in the morning. She packed my lunch. She made sure I was doing shit. Like, my mom's at work every single day. We got home. She's walking me home from the bus. When we were going to 2 separate schools, she's making sure she's meeting me at my bus stop, even though we're at 2 different places. Like, she had to step up, and I think that tainted our relationship for a really long time. I think she had a lot of...
She was tired.
She was super resentful of me, I think, until because couple of years ago. Yeah.
At what?
10?
Yeah.
And so it was much different for her. But so when she got married, she let my dad walk her down the aisle. And I, in my head, always thought I'd have both of them. Mm-hmm. But my father is so emotionally unstable that she chose to let him do it because of the worry of what reaction he might have if she chose not to let him.
Your bio father.
And then how did your stepfather feel? Well, it sounds like he's great, so he was just like...
He didn't care, and then her first child, she gave the middle name of my nephew is my stepfather's name. So she made sure to like...
So she has children already.
Yeah, she has 1 child and she's pregnant with her second.
I'm surprised that she has children.
And it's a boy!
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Danica's a wonderful aunt. She's so proud auntie.
It's my necklace, all of her.
Baby on her.
That's my baby.
I'm surprised that your older sister has children.
Yeah, she didn't think she ever would. We always thought...
She probably didn't want to.
We always thought I'd get married and have kids first. And then she got married and had kids, and I was like, wait. I was supposed to be me.
Okay, speaking of that, so you are a stunning, beautiful 30-year-old. Mm-hmm. And
she kind of looks, I know who you're going to...
What?
Angelina Jolie.
Oh, I've never gotten that.
No, you know what I always tell her?
No, I get so many, but I've never gotten that.
You know who I always tell her she looks like? Linda Carter. She looks like Wonder Woman.
When she smiles a little bit, but she looks...
she looks like Wonder Woman to me.
Jolie.
When I dye my hair dark, you always think it's Wonder Woman. It's funny because I almost got my hair darkened last night.
I can see both. When
I had black hair last year, you were really into the Linda Carter of it
every
all.
day. And then when she would have on her like aviator glasses, I was like, oh my God, you look Wonder Woman today.
Pew.
Yeah, I need the whole outfit.
I love Wonder Woman so much.
I never got Angelina Jolie.
No? A little
No,
bit.
I got Miley Cyrus a lot when I used to have long, curly blonde hair.
Mm-hmm. I could see
but I've never gotten Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
I like that.
Bit. Yeah.
Especially your side profile.
Ooh.
Just walk to the side when you walk into
I'm like,
a room.
all right. Anyway, what do you want to talk about?
That's so funny. Okay, so going back to your dating life. So you...
Did we talk about that at all?
No, I was getting ready to start.
She was about to say, she said,
I'm sorry.
She said, you're beautiful in 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know your dream, one of your dreams is to be a mom and
this
to get
is my
married.
biggest dream.
Yeah, to be a mom, get married, settle down. You were in a very long committed relationship.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Not great. 8 weeks ago, I ended a 7-year relationship.
You ended it?
No, I got dumped. After a 7-year relationship with someone who, like, I really thought I was going to spend my whole life with. And, I mean,
it's her person, her, like, best friend.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, we got together when we were 23. We met just, like, on a whim at a bar. And it was just, like, I was very, like, blasé about it. And it took, like, I don't know, 6-7 months for me to, like, actually give him the time of day. And then once we started hanging out, I was, like, all in immediately. And that's in 2017. And then we were together since 2017 until September. And I don't know,
So back it up, because I really want our listeners to get a feel of the conversations that you had early on that gave you the signs to know where you would end up today.
Yeah, I always knew that the end was near. But I also thought that, and this is crazy of me, I always thought that I would be able to change his mind. When we first started dating, we started dating very casually and very just like having fun, seeing each other on the weekends, going out partying. I was 23. I had gotten out of a long-term relationship with a very like abusive, crazy person. So I was moving forward in this life where it was just for fun. And I was hanging out and sleeping with this guy that I thought was really cool. And then after like I'd say like 6-7 months, I asked him, I said, so are we ever gonna like date or be serious? And he was like, no, I don't really want a girlfriend. I was like, that's fine with me. But I stuck around because it wasn't fine with me. I wanted a boyfriend. I wanted him to be with me. So I stayed. And then after like a year, I told him, I was like, we're either gonna do this or like I'm gonna go because this isn't in the cards for me. And he said, okay, I want to do this for real. And then,
and by do this meaning I'll be your boyfriend.
Date exclusively, be my boyfriend, like do the whole relationship thing. After both of us had been like so adamant about not doing it, me more so to appease the life that he wanted and to keep him in my life. I said okay to everything he always said. And then during COVID, it wasn't until 2020 that we started saying I love you and like spending all of our time together. No, we never lived together. We started spending all of our time together and being like all in and loving. And I spent all my time with his families. You know, like I was so close with his mom and his dad and his grandpa and his grandma and his aunts and his uncles. Because his family's here in LA. My family's so far away. So I spent so much time with them. And then I'd say like 2 years ago, we had a conversation about the future and what that looks like for him and what that looks like for me. And he was always like, I don't know if I want to get married. I know I want to have kids, but like, I don't think that's going to come anytime soon, like maybe in 10 years. And he said that when we were like 27. And I was like, 10 years? Like, of course that's not going to work for me. But again, I'm going to agree and be complacent because that's what keeps my relationship afloat. And like in hindsight, what an idiot. But I stayed. And then like a year after that, like a year ago, we had a conversation and we were both like crying. It was like this whole thing about how we want separate things, but we love each other so much and we're best friends. And why wouldn't we stay together? Because the future's never promised. And what if we break up and in 6 weeks the world ends and we spend all this time being so sad when we already know we love each other so much? Like, why wouldn't we stay? And then that was like New Year's of 2024, like right before New Year's, we had that conversation. And I remember being at a New Year's party with like all of our girlfriends and like all of his friends and all of his girlfriends. And we were all hanging out. And I told them, I said, I'm not going to be here for next year's New Year's. Like I just knew that I wouldn't be around come the end of 2024 based on the conversation we had. Like I remember talking to my friend Hannah and being like, this is the last one we get together. Like I'm not going to be here next year for New Year's, which is so funny because then I sit here and I'm like, I never knew we would break up. But like, I always knew. We both turned 30 at the beginning of September. And on September 29th, he said, let's go watch football and play pool today. Like, let's go have a date. And I said, oh my God, how fun. And I'm like getting ready. My roommate comes out. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going on a date with my boyfriend. Like, I'm about to have the best day ever. We go out. We play pool all day. We're watching football. It's the best time ever. We come home. We have dinner. We get in bed, we're watching TikToks, we're laughing, we're smoking, we're hanging out. And then he turns to me and he goes, can I talk to you about something? And it's just like, the blood rushed out of my body. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, I've just been really thinking about it. And like, we want different things. And like, I just don't know how much longer and he just like started spewing all this, like breaking up with me. And I just go, what? And he's like, is this coming out of left field for you?
He said that?
Yes.
And this is after how many years?
7. I go, yeah, it really is. Like up until 3 seconds ago, I thought I was the most in love that I'd ever been in my whole life. Like, of course, this is shocking to me. And I said, I can't talk about this right now. This is Sunday night. I have work tomorrow morning. Like, I can't talk to you about this. And so I'm like, I have to go to bed. We can't talk about this right now.
First of all, what an asshole.
For fucking real.
To string you along, first of all, the whole day.
7 fucking years.
Not
the whole.
Not even.
But also don't ask me on a date and then break up with me.
I haven't gotten even to the 7 years, but the whole day.
Mm-hmm. Come to find out, he's been talking to his therapist about it for months.
Well, see, yeah.
For months.
That's what happens is that they end up being able to get over the breakup prior, and then they dump it on you, and then you're left to...
And it's brand new.
He broke up
in his head, he knew it was coming. And he told me, he said, I just keep thinking about it, and like, I know I'll never be able to do it. And so I just like saw an opening, and I knew if I never said it then, if I didn't say it then, I would never say it. I'm like, good, keep it to yourself. What do you mean?
No.
But so then I said, I'm not talking about this, I'm going to bed. And I like rolled over, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like all night, I'm like racking my brain, like,
You should have got
There's no
left.
fucking... We're at my house.
You
And I have work in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I could say is that he's said it all along. And I remember last year telling you that this is something that he has said, and you're not going to change his mind. You either have to accept it or you have to move it on. I was trying to get her to close the door herself to move on because that she wanted to be married. She wanted to be pregnant. She wants to have kids. And that's not where he's going.
Men.
So
you can't push their time along.
Yeah. So I just think it's important.
But do you remember when we first met, when we first started working together, I told you, if by the time I turn 30, if he doesn't change his mind, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And then I didn't.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't even know I had an ultimatum, and it's like he did it on his own.
Do you really think that you would have went ahead?
No, I would have never left. No, I would have never left. I would have stayed forever.
There.
Even when we were breaking up. Like, so that day, I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning. I have to go to work. And we wake up, and he's still, like, trying to talk to me about breaking up. And I'm like, I gotta go. And I just leave and go to work mad early. And I walk in, and our boss, I walk in, and I see her. And I've been crying all night. I've been crying all morning. I look at her, and I go, can I talk to you? She's like panicked because I don't cry. I never show my emotions, especially at work. Like I'm at work. I'm professional. I'm a teacher. I have to be on. I'm with children. I sat in her office, I'd say 6 hours that day, unable to do anything but cry. Like I could not get past it.
But I think that that's important, and I think that's something that's very important for people to understand is that when you go through things like that, you need to feel the feels.
And I have a hard time with that.
Yeah, you can't hold.
I have a hard time with that.
It hurts. It sucks.
And it's normal.
It's always worse than you could ever imagine.
Yeah,
like I remember saying that to Michelle, being like, I could have never imagined it being this fucking hard.
Because all the time that you've invested in it.
Right.
It just
and that's the sad part is like, I was so sad about the end of our relationship, but I was so sad about grieving this future that I created in my brain that now is never going to happen.
But it was never going to happen.
But I had convinced myself it would.
Happen with him.
Yeah.
It's not
it
going
would
to happen
never.
with him.
It would
and
never.
the thing is that it's going to happen. It's just going to happen with someone else.
And that sucks because it would have been so cool if it was him. It would have been so cool.
No, it wasn't. It wouldn't, because if it was cool, if it was supposed to be him, then it would have been worked out from A to B.
Yeah, and that's what
it would have been 5 years longer.
Yeah.
It doesn't take men 7 years to know if they want
exactly, and that's what I think I've been coming to terms with since I was just at dinner earlier with a friend talking about it, and she was like, the person who chooses you isn't going to have to wonder. The person who picks you is going to meet you, and they're going to know, like, I can't imagine my life without you. And the fucked up part is, like, I was doing wife shit on a girlfriend's salary. Yeah. I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was caretaking. I was bending over backwards for this man, and I would have done it for the rest of my life. Even when we were breaking up, I got home from work that Monday and we're breaking up. I'm crying and I'm like, it's okay. I don't need to get married. I don't need to have kids. I'm crying. I'm begging, like scream, crying, begging. And he's just going, I know that that's not true. Like, I know I'm never going to be able to give you what you need. Like, I can't stay with you. It would be so mean of me to stay with you.
Which is true.
It's true, and that's the fucked up part, is because how can you hate somebody? I mean, don't stay with me for 7 years. But at the end of the day, he did the right thing by leaving.
And even though it was 7 years, it was still a young 7 years. You were in your 20s.
Yeah.
So
my whole 20s.
But don't waste my time.
But I'm saying,
don't waste my time.
But I'm saying,
you took all my youth for fucking free.
He didn't take all of your youth
for free.
He took some of your 20s, but he didn't take all of your youth.
Yeah.
Not all of it. What he did do was gave you a lesson.
But also, like, tainted my idea of love. Like, I thought I loved this person more than anything in the whole world. Yeah, like, how can you love someone so much and then be like, I'm actually not going to do this with you? Because even though I've told you every single day for the last 7 years how much I love you.
He could have loved you, but it just wasn't. It wasn't the love that you needed. And the love that you wanted.
Yeah. And the lasting love.
On a different level.
And I don't, like, I keep saying, like, I wish he would come back. I wish he would change his mind and come back. But then I have to remind myself, like, I don't want to be with someone who had to lose me to realize, oh, wait, I should have stayed with that person. Because what the fuck? Why would you leave in the first place? There's no reason to leave. We're best friends. We're so in love. We had the best relationship. He's like, I'm emotionally immature. I'm like, the fuck you are not. Like, We talked our whole relationship about how much better we were than all of our other friends that were in relationships that were all rocky and up and down. We never fought. We never had problems. We weren't breaking up and getting back together. We were just like best friends. Okay, so stable and in love.
Have you thought about if there's another person in the picture?
For him?
Yeah.
Yes.
No way.
Okay.
No.
Because sometimes it is easier for men when there's somebody else to grab onto.
Yeah. I think.
Do you think he's
honestly,
solo bolo?
Yeah, but I wish there was someone else because it would make it easier for me to disconnect.
Okay.
Would it be?
Yeah, because
it
would be easier to hate him. But do you know how hard it is to love somebody and have to be apart from them? Like, I have to sit here and be like, there's no reason to not be with you. Why don't you want to be with me? Like, every single morning I wake up, I'm laying in my bed.
Because
I'm like,
you know what,
why doesn't he
Danica?
want to be with me? Like, why wouldn't you want this?
But sometimes love is not enough. Like, you have to want to be going the same direction.
Exactly.
He doesn't want to be
and he doesn't want that. He said he wants to be selfish. He wants to take care of himself. He wants to figure out how to validate and love himself without outside stimuli. Like, he had all of these reasons, and I'm just like, for what?
Okay, so what's the cleanup? Like, F him.
I don't know. I haven't been doing good because that's what I was going to tell you is he did come over to my house last weekend.
Last weekend?
Danica, wait a minute. We just went through all of this.
It's a slow breakup. It's 7 years. I understand that. I understand that. 7 years is a long time.
You're playing games because when we went to dinner and when it first happened, I said, he's not breaking up with you. This is a joke. Like, whatever. And I've been checking in with her like periodically. How's it going? She's like, he's not coming back. He's not coming back.
He's not.
And if he's smelling around.
No, I reached out.
It doesn't mean he's coming back.
No, he's not. He's absolutely he's not coming back.
I'm sorry, listeners. We've all been bamboozled because
you have to cut off access.
It's hard though because how do you go from
your phone?
No.
Block.
No.
Block him.
I don't want to.
Block.
I want him to see my shit.
Okay.
He watches all my Instagram.
He can still see it. He just can't contact you.
He doesn't.
Okay, good. Block him
contact
anyway.
him. Last Saturday, I texted my girlfriends. I said, I'm about to text him. And they didn't text back fast enough, so I did. And I literally texted him Saturday last week. I said, why do we have to be mature and listen to our therapists? Why can't we just backslide? Come over.
She needs a sponsor. She needs you.
I said, come over. And guess what? He came the fuck over and stayed the night. And then left on Sunday, called me crying. He said... Yeah, crying. He said, this is always so much easier on you than it is on me. And I said, no, it's not. I'm just not crying in front of you anymore.
Okay, I want to get off this roller coaster.
Yes.
But
an emotional roller coaster.
Does it make you feel better if I've also been seeing other people in the in-between?
No, you got to stop. Girl. You got to stop. Because he'll keep you on that roller coaster forever,
No, girl. I just needed a couple backslides.
He said the night-night?
Mm-hmm. What does the night-night mean? You said twice? Listen.
I'm sorry, listeners.
Honey.
We done took you on this whole roller coaster.
Twice.
They're not broken up.
We are. No, we haven't talked since. We haven't talked since he left my house Sunday morning. We have not talked since.
He spent the night-night.
I don't give a damn if he spent the night-night.
But somebody else spent the night-night the weekend before.
Millennial versus
you have to cut the access.
Listen,
the aunties are trying to tell you.
It's like cutting your arm off.
It is.
I understand that.
How am I going to pick shit up anymore? I got one hand.
It's rough.
Okay, let me tell you this. The longer you spend on this roller coaster, the longer it's going to take for you to have your ultimate.
My girlfriend sent me a quote the other day. It said, the longer you stay on the wrong train, the more expensive your ticket is back home.
That's very true.
And I was like,
and we're here as the next generation above you that have gone through this stuff.
Been there,
done that.
Been there.
You don't want to waste your 30s, your beautiful 30s. No. They're dirty 30s. Still dealing with somebody from your past. Like, you gotta cut that cord.
Cut it off.
It's hard.
Or you gotta look up.
Cold turkey's crazy.
Your ex
so I tried cold turkey for 6 weeks and then I caved.
We just got through talking about community.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do. Build a community around
She's
yourself.
Lots of friends. She's
I do.
Social.
I honestly, I have an amazing support system. I just don't listen to them.
You have to.
Stubborn.
You have to.
I'm going to whoop you. Give me an old fashioned
You have
whooping.
to get your friends around. Get one of your friends to get like a sponsor. Make them responsible for you. And when you feel like I am going,
That's about to be y'all. We're gonna be in a group chat and be like, ladies,
shaking and all that kind of. What's your friend's name?
But don't you ever just like need to get your rocks off?
No.
And it's like, who am I gonna call?
No.
Can't call
Go
him
jog.
because that's keeping you.
Yes.
Jog.
Something else.
Go jog.
Something
That's
else.
not
You've
fun.
seen me run. It's not good.
Do something else. I'm telling
Pick
you.
up a hobby.
This will be a roller coaster that
hobby.
you do not want to be on for another year or two.
I
You
know.
just see so many women that end up wasting their good years on something that's not going to pan
Yeah.
out. So if you want to be on this,
I don't.
you're an adult. You can make your own choices.
I don't want to
But
be
if
on
you
this. I
wanna-
want to be married and pregnant by the end of 2026.
It can happen.
It
Yeah,
will
but not
happen.
with this.
Yeah, well, listen.
Let me tell you.
Give me one backslide. Give me a break.
Okay, you can have one. That's your only one.
She had
you hear
two.
that, listeners?
Okay, but one night.
But let me tell you, I was in a relationship for like 3 or 4 years, maybe with some old guy that I had no business being in a relationship with. Once I figured out who he was and like woke up from it, cut it cold turkey, like in the best way ever.
And didn't you meet William right after?
Oh yeah, see,
I know
forgot
this.
your memory is so.
I know
great.
everything.
Yeah, so, but I found out
Like
that
an
he was like
elephant, the
seeing a
memories.
bunch of women, and we just end up running into each other at some class, and then we compared notes. Let me tell you, he was in love with me though, but I had him come over to my apartment. And I think we were like broken up or something. It's hard to remember now. But we were broken up, but then I called him and I was like, "Oh, come over. I miss you. I want to see you. Whatever." He walks in the door, and then I had her hiding in my bedroom.
Had who?
The girl.
The other girl?
Yeah. And then I was
Diabolical.
And she comes walking out.
Who is the other girlfriend?
I can't remember her name. No, she wasn't in our
Oh.
realm. She was like an outside person, and she comes walking out. It
Diabolical.
was so good. And then, of course, he did the whole thing. You know, I've always loved you.
To both y'all?
No, to me,
Oh,
of course.
in front of her?
I was the catch. I used to just
Yeah.
make him crazy because I wanted to be married.
Yeah.
And I had a certain way that I wanted to live, and he couldn't meet that standard. So
Yeah.
anyway, he was like, I just, you know, I love you. Da, 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 da. And he walked out and left, and then like called me 2 weeks later to apologize. I was like, oh, I totally forgive you. Cut it cold turkey. That was in like February. April, I met my husband.
But also,
So I got a
let
couple
me
more months.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you about. I know who she's talking about, and I have seen him since then. He looks lonely and by himself, and I don't want to say disheveled.
They
but
always
he's not
will be.
like-
They always will be. And with my ex, it's like he has this grandiose idea of who he's going to become once he's single and he's putting all his effort
I mean,
into
he
himself.
might-
It's like,
he
you might
might,
be,
but
but
so
you also
what?
might be 45 and by your fucking self, and I'm going to be married with kids in a beautiful house as a stay-at-home wife, and you're going to be
But
alone.
why compare yourself to?
I don't know. I want him to
that?
feel
you don't
bad.
have to do that. Just let him go be who he wants to be, and you.
But what do I do with
blossom
all the
into
anger?
person that you got to find some way to channel it. Do something different. You're already in therapy. You're in therapy, and like I said, you got to build your community and stick to them.
Yeah.
Like glue.
And the thing is, though, okay, so you're broken up. Mm-hmm. It could very well work out. It could be one of those situations where
Not unless he comes back with
but
a ring.
Listen, after like 6 months, he could realize, okay, she is my person. I can step up and be the person that she wants to be and come back correct. That might happen.
Well,
but
and
it's
I
not
told
going to
you.
happen playing back and forth
Yeah.
and letting
You
him.
gotta let go.
I got to let him miss me, and that's the hardest part.
But not for the reason for him coming back, but just
for
cutting-
So that
myself.
you can move on.
Yeah, cutting it so you can move on. And if he does come back, he comes back correct, and you're not caught in
Yeah.
this, you know, game and blaming him for stringing you along. Because at
Yeah.
this point, you're making that choice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
have it.
because
Good advice.
I know.
yeah, we
You
got
always have
we got
great
you, boo.
advice. I just never listen to it.
gotta-
You've been
you
trying to
gotta
tell me this for a year and a half, and I'm like,
That's
I don't
because
know.
we've been there, done that, and that's the great thing about having older friends and
Yeah.
different generations is
Yeah.
that you can pass down the information. And
Yeah.
you're not by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you got hot fly. we were flying our 30s. Still trying to hold on
See,
to it.
I'm trying to manifest that like this is going to be the best decade of my life. Like my 20s, who cares? That was hard. That was rough. That's not for me anymore. This is about to be my
You glow up.
yeah. is going to be for me. But like, I have such a hard time being like, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to do this all for me. Like, I want attention all of the time. Like, I want somebody texting my phone all day like, what are you doing? You're so hot. Can't wait to see you.
You don't ever get tired of that?
No, I'm like, more.
Do you go on dating apps?
I literally wrote that down. Yes, I just downloaded Hinge, and honestly, it's the worst thing I've ever done. I've never seen so many ugly people at once.
Yeah. Wait, do you know if it was different for millennials?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Tall, 6'2" at least.
Okay.
Money.
Okay.
Nice. You know, the important things.
Because I know the last two have had a little bit of melanin, so that doesn't that doesn't matter.
The last two serious relationships, yes.
Okay.
But in between, there's a
so you don't have a type.
No, there's a fair mix of all of them.
Okay, got it. Do you know Danica wears a bonnet?
No, I didn't know that she wears a bonnet. I know that really made your day.
Insert a clip of me like.
Is that the most ridiculous? What? I just thought it was funny because she just.
Only when I'm wearing my hair natural.
What do you mean natural?
Curly.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
because I'm trying to save it because I won't wash it for.
I just never met a white person that wore a bonnet ever.
Yeah, but didn't you buy Christina a bonnet?
As a joke.
Oh.
Because she didn't understand the difference between a shower cap and a bonnet.
My ex wore a bonnet, and when I started wearing my hair...
Did he have dreads?
No.
Just like twist out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, my son was wearing a bonnet,
but I just, when I have my hair straightened, because I have a silk pillowcase, but if I'm wearing my hair natural, I have like very kinky, wavy, like the bottom is ringlets, the top is kinky. And if I'm doing a natural hair week, like I'm not washing my hair, Sunday to Sunday.
The bonnet will keep
it. And if I'm sleeping on a cotton pillowcase, I'm waking up
afro.
And it's all broken and busted at the end.
That she wears a bonnet?
Well, because last year you said, do you know the difference between a bonnet and a shower cap? And I said, the bonnet's silk inside, the shower cap's plastic.
She was like, girl, I have a bonnet. I was like, what? What you doing with a bonnet?
Away?
Yeah, a nice big pink one. It's got a bow on the front.
I had no idea that white people wear bonnets.
I think it's much more in the zeitgeist these days for all people.
Yeah, because
it's also like just like protective for your hair.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know sleeping on a cotton pillowcase was so the friction. They say it's like blow drying your hair all night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I have such
crunchy.
You always used to say I have like the crunchiest scarecrow hair ever. That I need all the help I can get.
Let's talk about a few other cultural differences. Okay, so Thanksgiving's coming up. Mm-hmm. Stuffing or dressing?
Stuffing.
Okay.
What are you?
Dressing.
You know what's so funny is we were talking about stuffing in class. I was talking to my students about Thanksgiving food, and I said stuffing. And, I'm not going to say his name. One of the kids said, stuffing? Like, he couldn't believe it. Like, in his head, he was thinking, like stuffing, like, inside a pillow or something. Like, stuffing, like pillow stuffing. And I was like, oh, no, that's what it's called. And, like, they were having such a hard time grasping it. And I said, oh, sometimes it's called dressing.
Okay. Yeah. And then, so pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
Pumpkin.
But also stuffing is, I think, a little different. Like, it's not as...
But we don't put it in the turkey.
Cakey. Oh, well, everybody doesn't put it in the turkey, but we have it in.
But isn't that where it originated? Why the name is stuffing? Is because people used to use it as like the flavor.
Yes. That is why they call it stuffing.
But I think now people associate stuffing with stovetop because it's like stovetop stuffing.
We're not making stovetop, but we do call it stuffing.
Okay. Correct. Homemade?
Yeah, my mom makes it.
So it probably is dressing.
What about
probably
green bean casserole or greens?
Green bean casserole.
I like green bean casserole.
My sister and I were just talking. Good. She said she's gonna make it from scratch this year. No cream of mushroom soup or anything.
I like it with the cream of mushroom soup.
She's gonna make homemade cream of mushroom.
Oh,
okay. And then what are your other staples? Fried turkey or baked turkey?
Baked.
Okay.
I say.
Do you cook?
I do. A lot, yeah. Not Thanksgiving. That's on them. I'm on vacation.
Say, you're definitely not a baker. We have butchered so many.
Okay, just because that one time with the zucchini bread.
Oh, wait a minute.
And we butchered.
When you called me about, what did you call me about?
Oh, macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Was it you too?
Probably. Yeah.
For Thanksgiving last year at school.
Because we were the fun ones.
Yeah.
Oh. So
remember Black History Month?
Yeah. Let me tell you.
How did it go?
We're in charge of Black History Month.
And everybody hated it.
They did?
Because so where we used to, well, where I used to work, where she still works, there's not that many.
There's not one single black person. You need to be honest. Be honest with the listeners.
So they weren't used to acknowledging Black History Month.
They weren't going to do anything.
Every year.
For February, they were not going to do anything.
So here I come, like, we're doing a Black History curriculum.
Yeah, we came
Danica
with our ideas.
Was like, I'm down, and let me tell you, she knew more Black history than I did.
What did you do?
Wait, we were trying to figure
you
out.
remember when we put that photo on the wall and we put the name above it and it was the wrong person?
What?
The guy who invented
the clock.
Damn, I wish I knew. Garrett Morgan invented the traffic light.
Traffic light.
So we made the kids make traffic lights. And then
we got mixed up between the clock, Benjamin Banneker, with the potato chip guy.
And so on the wall,
what's the potato chip guy?
What's his name?
Oh, don't do this to me.
I don't know. I forgot. Okay. But we confused
so we made a clock. All the kids made a clock, and we had this big board inside of our classroom, and it had a big clock that we had made and a picture of Benjamin Banneker next to it. And the entire fucking month, it was up on the wall. And it wasn't until March when we're pulling all this shit down and we're looking at it, and I Google it, and it's the guy. It's the potato chip guy. It's not the right photo.
Because all those old pictures, you can't
all look the same. It's a painting.
OMG, guys.
It's not a painting.
So did you guys? It was too late to correct it.
We didn't tell anybody.
No, it was just
what if they went home and was like,
I'm about to do it again next year. I saved all that stuff. You're not there. I'm doing Black History Month by myself this year.
Maybe I could do a guest appearance.
Right, you do a guest appearance.
Our class. Oh, God, don't get me started on Kwanzaa.
She hates Kwanzaa.
I do hate Kwanzaa. Not all Black people.
I was just making my December newsletter, and I was like, we're going to talk about all the holidays, the ones we know and the ones we don't know so well.
She knows it well enough.
I hate Kwanzaa.
The triplets' birthdays on Kwanzaa.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
We had triplets in our class last year, and their birthdays on Kwanzaa.
And I used to be like, on Kwanzaa.
On Kwanzaa. So it's on my calendar.
That's so funny. Let's do a quick round of what's in with the millennials. Okay. Because we were just debating about skinny jeans. Are skinny jeans
out?
They're out?
So out.
But I heard that they were back in.
Look at my bell bottoms right now.
Okay, so those are out.
Out.
Okay, what about lashes?
In.
Fake lashes are still in?
Always.
Why aren't they?
They'll never be out.
The crazy ones?
Oh, like you're thinking thick ones? Okay, so there's like the volume where the girls get it where it's so thick it's like two caterpillars. Out. That was never in. It was always looking bad. Yeah. But big long lashes, I don't think they'll ever leave. I think a long lash. Ones? Yes, I think I was just with my girlfriend today. She had the most gorgeous lashes I've ever seen.
I think have them professionally put in.
Yep. I think a long lash. No, I think a long lash is never going to go out. It makes you gorgeous. It changes your whole face.
Well, you don't wear falsies. Those are your lashes.
These are mine right now. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But if I was gonna, I use a
mascara.
I twirl them. I twirl them, curl them, and then I put on a primer, and then I use a waterproof. If you use a waterproof after you curl, it holds your curl all day. If you use a regular after a curl, it's not going to hold.
Okay, that's a tip.
But then waterproof, it's a pain in the ass to get off at night. But I don't think lashes will ever leave.
But I don't think so. They've always been in.
But I think a long lash is so beautiful always.
I think the natural lash though accentuated like yours, or like I use one of those things to make your lashes grow.
The serum. I use. Which one do you have?
I feel like the serum. I don't know. Abby found it off of TikTok or something. But
I'm afraid to put it on my eyes.
I have one right now, but did you hear about there's one that has like a chemical in it that causes orbital fat loss, so all these people are getting these like sunken in eyes.
Yes, see.
But the one I have is good.
Oh, you need to check mine though before you leave.
I'll look before I leave.
But I feel like that
I've been using, that's why mine looks so good right now.
But I think that's what's in, is accentuating or growing out your natural lashes.
I think long lashes are in, and I think the girls because the extensions are so damaging. I think that a lot of girls have been like, oh, I actually don't want to look like a naked mole rat every 6 months when I have to take a break of my lashes. So we're leaning more towards the natural. But I would say up until I met you, I didn't go a day without fake lashes. I'd say for like
me
6
either.
years.
And then
when I first met my boyfriend, he would always
mine on today. And
but yours are more natural looking.
yeah, yours are
like,
but yours are gorgeous.
I look at mine on,
but they're nice and long and beautiful.
You think they're long? I don't think.
But I look at pictures of
They're
myself
nice.
from 2020.
You used to always
these
have them.
crazy lashes.
Last year you had them every day.
Did I?
Yeah, remember
you
that
had
one day?
lashes on.
Remember that one day when you were like this and I couldn't even look at you?
What happened?
She was like, literally, I'm not kidding you. She had something in her eye all day, and she's like,
Oh,
this.
you got it out for me.
I know. After like hours, like literally all day, she's messing with it, and that's like.
It was a lash.
It was.
in my eye.
I couldn't even look at her because you know when you have something in your eye and it hurts so bad, and it's like watering, and I'm like holding her eyeball open like this. I'm like trying to pick it out, and she had a lash stuck like all the way in there.
Yeah.
And that's the crappy thing about the lash extensions is they do get painful.
Yeah. Okay. So what about ankle socks?
Ankle
Oh,
socks.
see, I'm not in on that one because that's more of the Gen Zers. But like, I'm a low cut, no show sock kind of girl.
Okay.
They don't like that anymore.
Right.
They want you to have the like
The show your sock.
the crew, not the crew cut length. The like
I know what you're talking about. It just is this much.
this
sock.
much above.
Yeah, that's
I
what's
like
in now.
still showing my socks. I get
See,
like
I don't show my socks. I also think like that
designs
this
on my socks.
part. I'm like, I don't want it to squeeze. I don't want it to squeeze on my ankle right there, and then it looks like I got a cankle.
But if you're wearing leggings, like to
I wear long ones with them
that's
runched
what I'm
down,
talking about.
So you wear scrunchy socks.
scrunchy socks.
So the ankle sock for leggings is out. You're supposed to have a little sock. Not.
I think you need
completely-
more sock. If
Yeah,
you're doing
like scrunchies.
leggings UGG, you need like a slouchy sock.
Yeah, but if you're doing leggings tennis shoe, you still need a sock, not the no-show socks.
What if
I don't
wore
know because I
leg
do
warmers?
no show. When I go to the gym, I do no show.
Oh.
When I go to the gym, I wear my sock. I pull my socks up over my leg, over my.
Yeah, because you have a cute little funky groove when you.
I do. But I wear Vans. I wear flat.
You wear flat
slip on.
shoes?
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Nails.
In.
Acrylics in.
Okay, so hold them out. This is Bam.
Ooh shoot.
Yeah. And let me tell you,
that's dark red.
this girl will wear her nails and let them grow out.
Girl, I have a picture.
All the way.
You should have seen them before
half
this.
and half.
More
did
than
that this
half.
time. I did
More
that
than
this
half.
time.
I'll do 6-7 weeks.
They don't break off.
Nope.
No.
Listen,
And she wears
Jessica
them-
has these stuck to my fingers.
She wears
they will
them
not budge.
She wears them with pride too. She'll be
yeah,
like,
girl, I'm getting my money's worth.
How much do you pay for a full set?
When I do short, 65 plus tip.
Oh, okay, that's good.
If I do medium, 75 plus tip.
Okay, that's
But
good.
during the school year, I always do short.
And let's-
I thought you were going to talk shit because I got the same color for 12 months in a row last year.
Oh yeah, that too. She wore white
This.
every day.
No, it was this, and
I
then
get
sometimes
this.
I would get it a little shiny, like
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
a little
yeah.
chrome on top.
Me too.
It's so pretty, and she would go, "Not that again."
She's like, I'm going to get my nails done.
I'd be like, "No, I did nude. I do nude with chrome, and then I do pink with chrome, like baby pink.
Addicted.
Like I love a sheer natural nail.
Addicted.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Do you do gel X?
No.
Acrylic?
But
they're so
this is my
thin.
this because they're my basically my nails.
That's the best your nails have ever looked.
It's acrylic.
But they're my nails.
I don't
It's
do
an
acrylic.
acrylic
Mine are
overlay.
gel X.
It's an acrylic
See,
overlay.
you can see my
Yeah, it's
natural
acrylic
nail
overlay.
underneath.
See, mine is an acrylic overlay too.
Yes.
But you were doing gel X last year.
I just did it once. I hate those things because they pop off.
this
Mine
nail, bro.
stay forever.
Gel X though. Gel X is easy to come up.
They don't. These. So I got these done last weekend. The ones before that, I got done right after I got dumped. So when was that? Like, it'll literally be to like here.
And your nails don't hurt?
No. And they don't break, and they don't pop,
And
and they
she
don't
wears them
lift.
with pride.
I can wash my hair; nothing's going underneath. I don't get lift at all. My girl
What is she
puts these
what is she
on.
putting on then?
I don't know, but she's the best. I've gone to her for 2 years. I haven't had a single pop.
Well, my
Okay,
guy's pretty good.
so lengthy nails are still in.
Yeah, I think I really admire a long, gorgeous nail. I don't do great with long nails because I like to let them grow out so long. But if I was a girl who did every 2 weeks, I would go longer.
Okay. Oh, I said last one, but this is the last
disagree.
one.
Okay.
Color on your lip.
Like a lipstick?
Yeah, like me, like I have on red.
In.
Okay, good. Because Gen X Is that what Abby is? It's always like, Mom, color is not in on your lips. You need to wear
Gen Z, you're Gen X.
Oh yeah, Gen Z.
The nudes, but I love a nude too.
I mean, what do I have right now?
It's
yours
like
is
nudie.
natural.
It's nudie.
Yeah.
It's like a gloss.
Well, I have like a lip liner and a gloss.
Yeah.
But I've never been like a heavy
girl.
makeup girl.
Yeah. You don't have anything on?
No, I have so much makeup on right now.
We're going to end on that note. Danica, you're the best. Everybody, get yourself a nice millennial to liven up your life and to give your advice to, because they're just the best.
She's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
okay.
better than okay.
Listeners, stay tuned. We'll fill you in on Danica's love life right in. See you later. Thanks for coming, Danica.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Instagram at 3_MAMA.S, on TikTok, and you can watch us on YouTube. If you'd like to reach out, you can email us at middleagemamas@gmail.com.